A peculiar occurrence is unfolding as 3I Atlas nears Earth on December 19th. And no, it's not merely the release of the Epstein files, though that's something to keep an eye on. I'm referring to the bizarre behavior exhibited by 3I Atlas. This behavior could potentially alter our perception of reality in the future. To explore the possible impacts 3I Atlas is already having on our planet, the unusual changes it's undergoing, and whether it could permanently transform life on Earth, we need to start with the Sun and the Moon. On the very same day that 3I Atlas approaches Earth, a new moon will also appear. This is monumental for both the scientifically minded hoping for groundbreaking findings and those anticipating extraterrestrial involvement on our planet. Allow me to elaborate. Scientists are buzzing with excitement, simply because a new moon brings a considerable reduction in moonlight interference. This significant decrease allows for an enhanced view of 3I Atlas, improving clarity and contrast, enabling researchers to analyze its coma, its faint outer tail, and other subtle details. Such developments could herald significant discoveries. Conversely, individuals who are more inclined toward spiritual interpretations perceive the alignment of the new moon with 3I Atlas as more than coincidental. They see the new moon as an omen of fresh starts, potential alien engagement on Earth, or possibly a significant transformative event for humanity. The moon isn't the only celestial body displaying enthusiasm for 3I Atlas's closest approach. The Sun has been unusually active lately. Whether by chance or not, those observing space have noted an uptick in solar flares coinciding with 3I Atlas's entrance into our solar system. Some theorists propose that 3I Atlas may have inadvertently influenced the Sun. However, scientists disagree. Even Dr. Avi Loeb, a Harvard astrophysicist renowned for his speculative theories, contests this notion. He argues that the increase in solar flares likely has no connection to 3I Atlas nonetheless. He suggests that our imagination is primarily constrained by the technology available to us. However, what isn't science fiction is the fact that 3I Atlas is indeed coming closer to Earth, exhibiting transformations that are anything but normal. To delve deeper into this significant event, we must understand how near it will be passing and its potential impact on us, as well as whether these extraordinary changes spell trouble for us here on the planet. As it stands, NASA has confirmed that 3I Atlas will come closest to Earth on December 19th of this year, 2025. That's still a considerable distance. How far, you ask? It is a staggering 270 million kilometers, approximately 168 million miles away. To put that into perspective, if you could drive continuously at 60 miles per hour, it would take you over 300 years to reach it. The key takeaway is that 3I Atlas poses no threat to us based on its distance. This assumes, of course, that 3I Atlas is merely a comet or a natural celestial object continuing its trajectory out of our solar system. But what if that's not the scenario? What if 3I Atlas harbors another identity, irrespective of its nature, as a comet or otherwise? One of the most peculiar transformations 3I Atlas has undergone as it approaches Earth is its color. I'm not exaggerating. This is significant. The color is notable because after passing its closest point to the Sun, or perihelion, 3I Atlas began to emit a vibrant and intense green glow, almost as if it's adorned itself to greet us. Admittedly, I am being whimsically poetic. Yet some firmly believe that this striking green luminescence indicates the activation of extraterrestrial technology. There's even a swelling group convinced that the green hue symbolizes healing energy, suggesting that 3I Atlas is here to assist humanity in overcoming malevolence. In contrast, scientists maintain a different perspective. Dr. Karen J. Meach, a planetary astronomer at the University of Hawaii in Manoa and a leading figure in the study of comets and interstellar objects, including the enigmatic Oumuamua, clarifies that the green coloration of comets arises from a specific type of carbon gas that fluoresces in sunlight. Therefore, green comets are not an anomaly. But why does 3I Atlas's green glow matter? Dr. Avi Loeb, our insightful astrophysicist from Harvard, argues that what's peculiar about 3I Atlas isn't merely its greenness, but the clarity and intensity of that glow, especially after it has moved away from the Sun. Typically, comets begin to fade after that point. So what accounts for 3I Atlas's continued vibrant green appearance? The hope is that observations on December 19th and beyond will bring clarity. And while scientists are awaiting those findings like you might look forward to a holiday break, Avi Loeb highlights something even more puzzling, captured repeatedly in images, including those taken by the Hubble Space Telescope, ranging from July 21st to the most recent on November 30th this year. So, what peculiar element is Dr. Avi Loeb referencing? Well, it appears there's a faint glowing extension directed toward the Sun. You might have heard of it already, but soon, I'll clarify what's changed with this bizarre behavior. Scientists often refer to this radiant tail that points toward the Sun as a sunward ant. This is intriguing because a comet's tail generally points away from the Sun, an effect caused by sunlight and solar wind pushing gas and dust outward. However, Astrophysicists at NASA and beyond assert that the antitail is simply an optical illusion. It appears to face the sun due to our perspective from Earth, but in reality, it is positioned away from the sun, like most comet tails do. Yet Dr. Avi Loeb believes that the tail of 3I Atlas is more than just an optical trick. He considers it a substantial feature, warranting explanation. Furthermore, the tail has taken a turn for the stranger. According to Avi Loeb and his team, new observations indicate that 3I Atlas exhibits a bright jet pointing toward the sun that gently oscillates in a rhythmic pattern. This steady wobble suggests the object is spinning. What's curious, however, is that one side appears to be continuously illuminated by sunlight while the other remains dark. Typically, when an object spins, all sides will alternately face the sun. Additionally, Avi Loeb points out that one of the jets from 3I Atlas is directed towards the sun and possesses a remarkably narrow appearance akin to a laser beam. This is unusual, he notes, because in ordinary comets, gas and dust emitted from the surface when heated by sunlight usually dispersed in a variety of directions. Moreover, this laser-like jet continues to track the sun even as the comet moves away, which is also uncommon. However, what troubles Dr. Loeb the most is the reason behind this strange antitail on 3I Atlas. For the last 5 months or so, Dr. Loeb has been ruminating deeply on this issue, arriving at several hypotheses regarding the unusual One proposition is that the comet may shed tiny icy particles from its sunlit side, which scatter light and create a glow directed at the sun. However, it's also possible that these particles evaporate rapidly enough to avoid forming a typical tail. Alternatively, he speculates that a small cloud of material is left trailing as the comet progresses. Dr. Avi Loeb considers this hypothesis because the comet's motion exhibits a slight additional thrust that gravity alone cannot account for. He theorizes that the residual material might be emitting light, resulting in the peculiar structure oriented toward the sun. Nonetheless, other scientists disagree. One such individual is Dr. Florian Neukart, an experienced computer scientist and physicist specializing in quantum computing, AI, and theoretical physics. He observed that 3I Atlas's trajectory deviates slightly from what gravity alone would predict, a conclusion echoed by Dr. Loeb and other scientists upon examining real data. So, if the unusual glowing tail is indeed real and the peculiar acceleration likewise authentic, what could be driving it? Dr. Florian Neukart applied physics-based thermophysical models that simulate a comet's heating and gas release as it approaches the sun. The findings that emerged were quite unexpected, but before I divulge the results, I invite you to support this channel by joining our membership. In return, you'll receive a shout-out in future videos, along with some exciting perks coming your way. And if you decide to sign up, I might just have a word with Santa to ensure you make it to his good kid list. I'm pretty close to him, after all. So, consider it. Thank you. And now back to the results. When Dr. Florian Neukart analyzed his data, it indicated that as 3I Atlas nears the sun, it becomes warmer and gradually leaks gas. If you're as fond of rice and beans as I am, it seems that 3I Atlas and I have something in common. However, in the case of 3I Atlas, this gas leakage can act like a tiny engine, providing the comet with a slight boost beyond the gravitational pull it experiences. Dr. Neukart concluded that if 3I Atlas releases carbon monoxide which can easily turn into gas, even at substantial distances from the sun, that alone could account for the additional acceleration measured by other scientists. You know, like many of you, I would be thrilled if 3I Atlas were a spacecraft from a deeply peaceful alien civilization. That would be phenomenal, proving that we are not entirely alone and that life and reality encompass so much more than what we've been led to believe. However, I'm also aware that magic already exists in this timeline we share. I'm not joking. We are witnessing one of the most remarkable and rare cosmic events in history. It has impacted us all, from infants to grandparents, regardless of wealth or status. That connection is something we all share, happening right now during the holiday season. If you don't consider that a true cosmic gift, then I'm not sure what else to say. Adding to the intrigue is that as 3I Atlas comes nearer to Earth, it undergoes even stranger and rarer transformations. In fact, here's a video that will break down the most peculiar and astonishing changes. I hope you'll give it a watch. Thank you for being here, and happy holidays.